Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental relationship reading for the month of July of 2026 for the element of fire. Fire covers the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So if you're Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or have fire high up in your chart, then this message is for you. And how I do my readings for relationships is we first look at the singles, and then we look at those in a relationship. For each single or relationship, we look at where the chakra is lighting up and what lesson is showing up there. We get a little message from the Whispers of Love Oracle, and then we get further clarification from the tarot, just kind of giving us a little idea of what's going on there. So in the description, all the cards decks I'm using are down there. There's also a natal chart through Llewellyn. It gives you your 12 houses with all little signs and symbols, and there's a section in there for an elemental alignment as well. The natal chart is not sponsored, but the other ones are affiliate links, so it does support the channel. But with that, we will get started with our fire singles. And fire singles, you have the chakra energy of number 30, communication. I believe this will be your throat chakra, but we'll double check here, because I do read the book on this one just for clarification. But the energy that's coming with this is learning to communicate is not just about speaking clearly. It's about being open to hearing. We have one mouth, two ears, two eyes. So you're catching a lot more information by what you're hearing and what you're seeing than what you're actually saying out loud. And sometimes body language is a massive communicator as well. So this is about learning to communicate in all areas of life. So as a single fire, this is where if you're looking for a relationship, this is going to be beneficial to help you get more clear on what the other person's saying. It's not just the words that they're coming out of their mouth, it's also the energy that they're expressing in how they move, the tone of their voice, the cadence of their voice. These are all aspects that are going to be playing out here. So in our book here, we are in the throat chakra. The elemental energy here is the Akash, or the space, or the ether, and it is the fifth element related to the non-physical etheric reality where sound dominates. It holds and transports words and their vibrational messages. The elephant is Gaja. Oh, the elephant right there in the center where the white ball is stuck on his face. Linked to memory and sacred wisdom, the yogis use this image to delve into their invaluable guru-disciple relationship and the mingling of spiritual and cosmic consciousness. So your energy is really about getting to know yourself a little bit more, but it's also how you're showing up in the world. So it's this awareness of how people communicate, but also becoming more aware of how you communicate. Your keywords here are communication, speaking, listening, talking, hearing on deeper levels, high thinking, clarifying what you think others are saying. So fire singles, this is really about you not jumping to conclusions and actually paying attention to what's being said and not just what's being spoken. Speaking literally, if you are really paying attention to body language, becomes one of the least important things are the words falling out of someone's mouth. But it's how they say it, that where's their face doing, where are their hands, how's their body leaning. All of this stuff is communication. Most of us do it on a subconscious level, but for you, fire singles, it's time for you to start really paying attention to this, because this is going to play out later on. If you're looking for a relationship, knowing how to communicate without words is going to be a very important aspect of that. Now, if you're happy single and you don't want a relationship, maybe just figure out your friends a little bit better. This is also going to help you get more clarity on where that stands. So your message from the Whispers of Love is honesty is essential, speak with love and truth. Still going along with that communication theme here. And the energy that comes up here is once you start to understand how you show up and communicate. Again, hand gestures, body language, facial features, all that jazz. When you start to do that and you become more aware of how you show up, then you become conscious of it. So when you show up in the world and you are communicating, are you being honest, speaking or acting with truth and integrity? Or are you acting with less integrity, a little more shady? Because fire, when we show up in the world and communicate honestly and openly, it doesn't mean tell the world everything, don't overshare, but it means that you're not being inauthentic with how you experience life. And that is an important way of communication, especially if you're looking for a relationship or even just, your friend group. You can start to pay attention to how people respond and act, following your inner guidance, your intuition, and you might be surprised by the different images that start to come forward and how people show up for you. Your first tarot card is the Ten of Autumn. Taking steps to ensure financial security of your children and loved ones, or possibly a spouse, making wise investments and planning for retirement, and honoring family traditions. It's your time to really get clear on how you're going to show up. And then when you do that, what is your purpose? Why are you showing up better? Why are you stepping forward to be the more honorable, the more ethical, the more truthful person? It's because you're setting yourself up for your future. You're building energy towards something bigger than yourself, a relationship, a future business, even adopting kids. There's a lot of different options here, fire singles. But this is your time, this month is really your time to start setting things into motion and putting a foundation down to really solidify what it is you want to create in your life. Your second card is the Eight of Summer, the desire for a more meaningful life. Seriously. Realizing it's time to move on, choosing to make life changes. You are really ready for this, fire. There's something that you are paying attention to. Your communication is shifting into this more truthful aspect. And when you have honesty is essential, you're being true to not just others, but yourself. And then you have these two little kids here. The Ten of Autumn is saying planning for the future, getting things foundationally stabilized. The Eight of Summer is saying, where you're at is not where you should be. You're ready for something different. You feel it deep down inside. Fire, if you're sitting here and you're listening to this and you feel that burning inside, not the heartburn one, but the actual passion for change burn, you know that it's time for something to happen. It's no longer time to just sit in one spot. There's a path ahead of you up here, and it's time for you to step into that path. So fire singles, you are on a journey of discovery this month, and it's the discovery of how you show up in the world, learning to communicate with yourself more clearly, and then how are you showing up to others, being honest and upfront with what your thoughts and needs really are. Not so much wants. Wants are important, but the needs are what's really showing up here. And this is coming from your throat chakra. Your throat chakra basically controls all aspects of communication and all aspects of how we show up and discuss things with other people. So this is your time to really shine at that and practice it. It's not just about preaching and listening to some guy on the internet. It's about, are you practicing these new shifting ideas, changes, and abilities? Because that's really where you're showing up here, fire singles. So as we wander into our fire couples, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and if you see something different in the cards, obviously I read intuitively, so it's interesting to hear what other people have to say. So if you're comfortable with that, feel free to comment your opinions and feelings of what the cards are showing in the comments section below. As long as we're respectful, it's really all we can ask for in this crazy little world we live in. So fire couples, we are at, you're in the throat chakra as well, but you have a different card. It's number 31, learning. And I'll check the book here in a second. But what I'm feeling here is when we're in that throat energy and we're in that communication side of things, which is what the throat is, especially in a relationship, it's learning how the other person communicates and how you communicate. You might see something as minor and not a big deal, but in their version of communication, it could be a really either insulting or otherwise comment or action. So you have to learn how to show up with each other and communicate back and forth. There's also this energy of the communication between, and learning how to do this, between the higher self, your everyday self, and your shadow, because when that door opens, it opens up a great deal of communication, but there's also a lot of structured learning that goes with that. And I don't mean structured as in a syllabus, I'm talking structured as in the universe already has plans in place for when this happens. So let's take a peek at our book here. Your deity, this dude right here, is the, oh good grief, Panchadavaktra Shiva. We'll just call this as a different Shiva. Shiva is lord of the yogis, shown with 5 heads that are the signs of the 5 senses or energies in the most potent, penetrating, and all-seeing aspects. His mantra is Om Namah Shivaya, and it's those of... What does this say? Sorry, the light's really weird right here. It is one of the most often heard chants in India. There we go. Usually depicted in natural settings, he is often shown meditating on the mountaintops, where he gave his wife Parvati, the mother of the universe, 5 secrets to a happy life on earth. 2 of these directly concern the 5th chakra. One is to speak truth and to be honest. The other is to speak kindly. And that's where coming into this reality of creation and speaking clearly is so important and so valuable. But when you're in a relationship, what's the most important thing you have? Integrity and honesty. So your keywords here are learning, reflection and contemplation, experiences that lead to wisdom, watching one's thoughts to gain awareness, and self-discovery. And in a relationship, it's every day is a new discovery. If you look at that person every morning and be like, I can't believe I'm actually with the person of my dreams, and you learn them, and they learn you, because you're becoming more aware of yourself, and so will your partner. Because when you're in that union state, what one does, the other one does, because you are bonded at a spiritual level. And this is where being open and honest with each other is so valuable, especially in the beginning, because then you can build upon that trust. You build upon that bond. It gets deeper and stronger and deeper and stronger, and it gets to a point where you can communicate without words. And if you've ever seen those couples who've been together for 15, 20, 50 years, you see it happen all the time. They move around each other and communicate without ever speaking. And then there's these little times where they poke jabs at each other. And fire couples, this is what I'm seeing for you, is you have this ability. Whether you're the fire or your partner's the fire and you're cross-watching for them, you're going to end up in a position where this is a reality for you. Your message from the Whispers of Love is be authentic. Again with the truth. Be real and true to who you are and how you feel. When you're in a relationship and you're honest with each other, fire couples, nothing can stop you at that point. Now, it may not always be easy when you're in that situation. Our number here is 39. Because when you're honest and open with everything, sometimes truth can slip out that maybe the other person is not ready for. And that's not always the most comfortable thing. Speaking from experience on that one. But when you're open and honest with people and yourself, the other person is going to see that and be respectful of that. They may not like what you just came out of your mouth because, they asked if the dress made them look overweight, and you were like, it's not the dress, sorry, the dress is beautiful. And then they get mad, but it's the fact of you weren't lying to them, you were just not giving them the answer they wanted to hear. But that's sometimes where you have to learn to communicate in the way that's the most healthy for the relationship. So, your message from the tarot is the 7 of Summer. No more procrastinating. Your powers come from making decisions. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. So you don't overthink this. When you're really starting to develop and understand and learn about your partner and yourself, don't overanalyze. Well, according to this one book I read 20 years ago, that particular look on their face with that hand gesture means this. No, it doesn't. Stop. It's about learning how your partnership works. It's how your partner responds. How do you respond to your partner? It's your development and it's your understanding. And it's really saying you knew that this was a part of the relationship and you kind of been putting it off like, I don't want to, rose-colored glasses and all that jazz. But the 7 of Summer is saying enough. If you want to really make your relationship honest and healthy and full, it's time to start doing that and do it from the beginning, not halfway through. Your second card is the 7, that's interesting, the 7 of Autumn. Having patience, don't worry, take time to rest and plan your next steps, a prudent investment of time or money. What I'm feeling with this combination of sevens that you've got going on here is this is a perfected thing for you. This is an energy that once you start to understand it and you start focusing on that learning and really enhancing, paying attention to how you are communicating and how your partner is communicating, that's when the divine's going to step in and support you in this. Sevens are a divine number, and so you've got 2 sevens here. You're in a really good spot as far as the energy surrounding you, fire couples, but you also are being called to don't rush things. You need to start understanding, you need to keep going, keep learning, but don't rush. Don't jump to conclusions, don't make assumptions when you're not fully there. But it's time for you to really embrace the other aspect of yourself, that more intuitive side, the water aspect, if you will, fire. But when you do that, it's going to take that fire and deepen the message. If you've ever been camping, you know the log cabin style of fire that's the best for cooking, where you have the teepee, which is the big flames, and then you have the log cabin one, which is stable and strong and a heating fire. You've done all the things, now it's time to stabilize. You're balancing the fire with the water. You're balancing the masculine and the feminine, and I don't care if you're male or female, you have to balance the masculine and the feminine in these energies. And when you do, this is the energy of that enhancement. And you're in the process of learning that right now, fire couples. So be gentle with yourself and with others. Learn what needs to be exchanged. And watch how your communication shifts the more you learn about yourself and the more you watch your partner learn about themselves, then you learn together. Notice how things get deeper and more intimate, if you will. With that, I will let you guys and gals go. Have a great rest of your month. Fire singles, you're in this process of learning to communicate better, watching other people and showing up more authentically. And couples, really deepen that knowledge of who you are and your partner, and allow that to guide and let your intuition really spring forth, where you get to that point where you don't have to think you don't have to question what the other person's saying, because you pretty much already know. With that, have a great rest of the month, and I will see you in the next video.